What failures of liberalism do common good politics seek to correct?
Liberalism hasn't really produced prosperity and peace for all, which has been the ambition. So the question is, how can we actually have more mutual benefit, and how can we have more peaceful cooperative relations, both within but also across different societies? Common good politics tries to emphasize the idea that actually we can only fulfill our talents and vocations by working together, by establishing a measure of trust, by having some generosity and this outlook on mutual benefit. And therefore it's an indispensable perspective, because liberalism in the end pursues either self-interest or utility. It doesn't pursue the things that actually enable us to flourish, both as persons but also in groups, in different forms of association. So it's an indispensable perspective to correct the limits of liberalism.
How does the theory of the common good fit into concrete politics?
Common good isn't just a theory, it's in fact a reality, because a lot of things that we value as human beings only come to us through relationships. And so the interpersonal is something we can strengthen at all levels. For example, within businesses and in other professions, we can create a better balance of interest. So it's not just the employer or not just the worker, but all stakeholders that are part of the process. In the public realm, we can also create a better balance of interest by bringing in groups that are currently underrepresented, so that it's not just a majority or a minority interest that prevails, but generally the interests and needs of all. So that could be about corporate governance reform, it could be about greater participation at the workplace, or indeed in politics. It could be through the devolution of power to lower levels, but also the creation of new institutions that actually enable people not just to have a voice, but to have agency. So it's about strengthening personal agency wherever people are, in their workplaces, in their neighborhoods, as citizens of their country and indeed beyond.
How can differences between different conceptions of the common good within one society be resolved?
Yes, those different conceptions of the common good are very real, and they could potentially either lead to paralysis, where there's simply no agreement at all, or else to conflict, and neither would be desirable. So the question is, how can we in any way address that? And I think argument will be a very simple one. First of all, we need to again have a debate about what the common good is and how we might all pursue it. So to bring the common good back as a main political category, as something that actually should frame our public political discussions, is, I think, the key thing. And then to say, yes, there will be many differences, but will there not be some common ground? Can't we identify some shared interests, some mutual benefit through cooperation, through, as I said, some trust and some generosity and some kindness towards others? And I think we can identify that common ground if we create the space where people can actually think about it, debate it, disagree, but also, crucially, agree on it. And I think the problem with liberalism is that it essentially excludes even the possibility of agreement, when actually, in reality, many groups can find that common ground.